What's up, veterans? Brian Reese here, the VA Claims Insider, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. Welcome. Today, I'm talking about what is a Nexus letter, okay? Also known as a medical Nexus letter or a medical Nexus opinion. Okay, again, Brian Reese here, Air Force Service Disabled Veteran, founder and CEO of VA Claims Insider, as well as Military Disability Made Easy. Feel free to check us out. You can check us out online for free at vaclaimsinsider.com. We've got lots of free stuff there, and we help and we share and we help get you the VA disability rating and compensation you deserve. All right. Now, before we talk about Nexus letters, I just want to share a little bit about us. Okay. Who is VA Claims Insider and why are we doing this? Okay. Our why. We believe veterans are underrated by the Department of Veterans Affairs, okay? And so our purpose is to get all veterans what they legally, morally, ethically, and medically deserve. We are insiders, okay? That's what makes somebody an insider. And our vision is we want to become the most trusted name in VA disability claims. Now, what that means to me is veterans all over the world are talking about this. Maybe you're sitting around with one of your brothers or sisters in arms and you're talking about your disabilities and your claim, and our name pops up, right? I want you guys to be sharing VA Claims Insider, all right? And what is our mission? We are veterans helping veterans get the VA disability rating and compensation they deserve. Okay, that's just a little bit about us. And by the way, did you know this? All right, this is our inside stat tracker. Okay, 250,000 veterans come to our web properties every month. This is from actual real experiences in the veterans we've helped inside of our programs. 8 out of 10 of you hearing my voice right now, 80% of you are underrated. What that means is you're already a disabled veteran, but you're underrated. Okay, that means you do not have the VA disability rating and compensation you deserve. And you're stuck, you're frustrated, you're alone, you're mad at the VA, the attorneys aren't helping, the VSOs aren't helping, there's Facebook groups everywhere sharing wrong information. Guys, gals, I'm sick and tired of you guys being stuck and frustrated and alone. That is why I founded the VA Claims Insider community. That is what we do. Okay, so if you're sick and tired of being stuck and frustrated and fighting on your own and getting nowhere, this is for you. Okay, this is for you. I don't want you to be a statistic anymore. I don't want you to be one of the 80%. I want to move you out of that. I want to move that out of that so that you get the rating and compensation and benefits you deserve for you and your family. Okay, now there's two reasons. There's two reasons, guys, why VA disability claims get denied. Okay, reason number one, there's not enough medical evidence. Okay, and reason number two, the VA rating official, that's the person at the VA who looks at all the evidence and makes a decision on if there's a diagnosis, if something's service connected, yes or no, and then what your symptoms are. That person is unable to determine what's legally referred to as the nexus, okay, to prove service connection. Now, in number one, you might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean there's not enough medical evidence? Okay, reason number one, I say, is the reason why claims get denied, there's not enough medical evidence. Well, if you think about it, I was in the military too. Okay, I was an officer in the U.S. Air Force. I never wanted to be that guy who was always at sick call. We didn't go to the doctor for everything I should have. Okay, and I'm sure you're the same way, especially if you served a long time ago before the advent of electronic medical records. We just didn't go to the doctor when you should have. It's not culturally acceptable in the military to go to the doctor every time you have a little something wrong with you. Okay, well then the problem is, fast forward years later, you get out, you're hurt, you've got all these injuries popping up, and now all of a sudden you want to file a disability claim for your knees, your back, your shoulder, your headaches, your hips, okay? And it comes back denied. And what do they say? Number two there, the VA rating official, the letters you get, the decision letters state not service connected, okay, which we know is crap. As a fellow veteran, we know it's crap. just because something didn't get diagnosed in service doesn't mean it didn't actually happen. It just means you didn't go to the doctor. Okay. So again, those are the two reasons. Reason number one, not enough medical evidence. Reason number two, the VA rating official is unable to determine the nexus to prove service connection. Okay. So why is this important? You have to ask yourself these three things. If you're hearing me right now, think about, are you even eligible for VA disability rating, compensation, and benefits under the law? Okay, you have to meet these three things. Okay, number one, you must have a medical diagnosis of a condition or a disability. Okay, now that needs to be very clear. That can be either in your service treatment records, okay, so what you got from active duty. That can be on any VA records. So if you're going to the VA now and receiving care, or any private records. Okay, I know a lot of times vets don't go to the VA for your care. That's okay. All right, if you've got a private doctor, that's fine. You just need to get copies of those medical records. Okay, so bottom line is you can't file and request VA disability compensation benefits unless you have a diagnosis. Okay, you must have a diagnosis that you even have the condition. Okay, if you've got plantar fasciitis in your left heel, go get a diagnosis. If you think you have post-traumatic stress disorder, but you've never been to the psychologist or a psychiatrist, get your butt to the doctor. Okay, without a diagnosis, you're dead in the water. Okay, so that's number one. The second thing is, was your disability caused or made worse by your active duty service or by another service-connected disability rated at 0% or higher? That's what's referred to as the nexus. So two things I'm talking about here, two different types of service connection in this example. There's something called direct service connection, and then there's something called secondary service connection. So for example, let's think about post-traumatic stress disorder caused by a combat deployment in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Okay, let's say you were deployed over there and there were all kinds of things going on. Rockets, mortars, you're in a combat zone. Maybe somebody in your unit was killed or wounded, okay? And you were a witness to that fear or threat or hostility of death and destruction, okay? That would be the stressor. So that would be considered direct service connection. The PTSD in the example I just gave was caused or made worse directly by your active duty military service. There's also something called secondary service connection. Now, what that means is a condition developed or was made worse because of another service-connected disability in your body rated at 0% or higher. So think about this. The human body is much like a system, okay? All of the pieces and parts work together to make you a fully functioning human being. If any one thing goes or breaks, it's likely to affect other things in your body, okay? And it's all medically linked in research, okay? So for example, let's say you've got chronic back pain, you've got a lumbar issue, and you're currently rated and service connected at 10% for that. It's very likely that over time, you now have a neck condition, okay? Or you now have knee issues as a result of your back, okay? It's all connected. If your back goes, your hip goes, your knees go, your neck go, and vice versa. If your knees start to go, your back might go, your neck might go, okay? That's what we mean when we talk about secondary service connection, okay? You are eligible to file VA disability claims secondary to other service-connected conditions, okay? So that's number two. Disability was caused or made worse by your active service or by another service-connected disability rated at 0% or higher, okay? That's the nexus. And then the third part, persistent and reoccurring symptoms of the disability in the present day. Now, I put a note in here that says, how is your disability affecting or limiting your life, okay? Let's say you have a medical diagnosis, check. You have direct service connection, check. But you're healed, all right? If you're no longer dealing with symptoms, it's very likely that you're either, it might be service connected, but it would be rated at 0%, meaning you're not going to be eligible for any compensation and benefits. This is why I tell you guys and gals all the time, you have to be very vulnerable with your symptoms, and you have to talk about how those symptoms are limiting and affecting your life, okay? So you got to have those three things, guys, before we even consider this. But we're talking about Nexus letters today. You've maybe heard this, medical Nexus letter, medical Nexus opinion, and you might be thinking to yourself, what, Brian, my brain's about to blow up here. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't know what a Nexus opinion is. Okay, a medical Nexus opinion is nothing more than a document prepared by a medical professional. That's it. And in that document, it explains how your current disability or condition was caused or made worse by your military service, okay, to help prove the nexus. Okay, remember the number 2 reason why VA disability claims get denied is the VA rater is unable to determine the nexus, which is that link to your service. That's why if you log into your eBenefits account and you read things that say not service connected, that's what that means, okay? So they're not disagreeing that you have the condition. They're disagreeing that it was due to your service, okay? A medical nexus letter will help to prove service connection, especially if you've already been denied, okay? Now, I put another note in here that says it's especially crucial if you were not diagnosed with a disability while on active duty, okay? Why is it important? The medical doctor, the professional, is going to write in there based upon medical research, based upon the records that they do review that you do have, the likelihood that your condition or disability was due to your service, okay? Again, that's all it is a medical opinion, but it's very powerful. Okay. Now, if you were obviously, if you're listening to this, you were in the military, all right, I'm sure you've written something called a memorandum for record, an MFR. Okay. All it is a background bullet paper, lists some facts and some pertinent information. Somebody signs their name. Same exact concept here. All right. Now, I've seen Nexus letters that are 50 pages long. Okay. You don't need to write a novel. A medical Nexus letter can be as short as 1 page. Okay. A couple of paragraphs. All right. Now, what are the 4 elements, though? This is what's more important. So rather than worrying about the length of the Nexus letter, the content is what you need to be most worried about. Now, a proper medical Nexus letter, in my opinion, shorter is sweeter, okay? I'm reminded of a quote by Abraham Lincoln. He said one time, I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have the time, okay? Now, you think about that. Why would he say that? It's difficult to be clear and concise. All right. If you've ever written something down, you know that it's harder to cut things than it is to keep adding things. But what I recommend here is don't forget that the VA raters are very busy people. They're looking at 10, 15, 20 cases a day. All right. Don't feed them a bunch of garbage they don't need. Stick to the facts, be clear and concise, but your Nexus letter must include these 4 elements. Okay. The first part, the examiner or the medical professional needs to state how they know you, okay? What did they review? Hey, I've known veteran Reese since 2009. He's been a patient of mine here in the medical clinic. I'm his primary care physician. I've reviewed his records from active duty in the United States Air Force from 2003 to 2012, etc. Okay, it's just a basic introduction of how the medical professional knows you. The second part needs to talk about the rationale. Okay, these can be interchangeable, but here I've got list their professional opinion at the likelihood. What we normally see is the author, the medical professional who writes this, will talk about in part 2 some of the medical research, if you have a diagnosis, yes or no, and how these things correlate together. Okay. And then they'll write something around their medical opinion, which might say something like, after review of the pertinent records, it's my medical opinion that veteran XYZ's current obstructive sleep apnea is at least as likely as not due to their current service post-traumatic stress disorder. Why do I think that? I think that because it's well known in medical journals that there is a logical and clear link between obstructive sleep apnea and post-traumatic stress disorder. Reference study 1, 2, 3, reference blah, 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 and they'll pull some medical research together to support their opinion. Okay. And then the final part, the author, the medical professional needs to sign and date their name, and they need to list their title. Okay. If they're a nurse practitioner, if they're a PAC, if they're an oncologist, if they're an orthopedic surgeon. Okay. And again, now this Nexus letter can be done by any medical professional. Okay. Anyone who's a nurse practitioner or higher can do a medical Nexus letter in support of your VA disability claim, okay? All right. Now, you heard me talk about the statement of likelihood. And if you're sitting there scratching your head, I want you to think about this. There are 5 statements of likelihood. 3 of them are good, 2 of them suck. Okay, 2 of them are bad. 2 of them could be the reason why you see things that say not service connected. Okay, now the best statement of likelihood you can get is due to. Okay, that means that in the medical opinions provider, they are 100% sure that your condition or disability is due to your disabilities or your service. Now, that's unlikely, right? It's a medical opinion. So unless this person was there with you, it's unlikely that they're going to be able to say with 100% certainty that something occurred. Okay, so I don't see is due to very much. Now, the second one is more likely than not. What that means is there's a greater than 50% chance that a condition or a disability was due to your service. Okay, that's a good one. The third one, at least as likely as not. That means that there's equal to or greater than 50% chance that your disability was caused or made worse by your service. This is no different than baseball. Okay, think about in professional baseball, tie goes to the runner. Okay, same is true under VA law. Okay, there's something called the benefit of the doubt doctrine, and what that means is when in doubt, the tie goes to the veteran. Okay, when in doubt, the position goes to the veteran. Okay, the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so at least as likely as not is a good one as well. Now then, there's 2 that are not so good. The 2 that are not so good, one of them is not at least as likely as not. I've also seen less likely than not. What that means is that the examiner's opinion or the professional's opinion, there's less than a 50% chance that it's due to your service. That's no good. Okay, if you get that, you're going to be denied service connection. And then the 5th one there, that's the worst one, is not due to. It's a 0% chance. I don't see that very often. Okay. All right. So those are the 5 statements of likelihood that can be used for a medical nexus opinion. All right, now this is an actual example. I'm going to talk you through this on the screen. Our veteran client received a 50% rating for OSA, obstructive sleep apnea, with this exact letter. It's structured very simply. It's 1 page, has the veteran's name, their social security number, their VA file number, and then the doctor, a medical doctor in this example, writes in there how he knows the patient, okay? I am Dr. blah, 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 MD. I'm board certified to practice in my specialty. A resume CV is included. Okay, veteran blah, blah, blah is a patient of mine and has been under my care since 2011. He has been diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea since April 2009 and has even been prescribed to use a CPAP device while sleeping. Okay, a continuous positive airway pressure machine, which helps folks who have sleep apnea to get the air that they need so that they can get quality sleep. Okay, it helps open up that airway. Then he writes, I personally reviewed his medical history from his U.S. Navy medical records. I've also reviewed his personal medical history since he retired from service. There is medical evidence that he complained of sleep problems doing service. In fact, the attending physician at the time, doctor, it's blacked out, recommended him to be evaluated for OSA. Okay. Again, I'm familiar with this veteran. The veteran has no other known risk factors that may have precipitated his current condition. Okay, remember that statement of likelihood? So here's the last sentence. In my medical opinion, the veteran's current sleep apnea condition is more likely than not due to his military service and is the cause of his current condition of obstructive sleep apnea. Signed, the doctor, MD, and he lists his credentials there. Okay, that's it. It can be that short and sweet. Okay, now we didn't cite any specific medical journals here because it wasn't secondary service connected and there was some history of the veteran's sleep issues on active duty. Now, most of the time what we see is in a medical nexus letter, you want to have some medical research to back up and justify the position. Okay, so here's a secret hack for you. You can use a free service brought to you by the US government, the National Institute of Health. It's called PubMed. Okay, pubmed.gov. It's free. They list medical research studies and journals and reports from all over the world. It's got a pretty awesome search function. You just type your condition in and click search. Okay, so that's a real example of a medical nexus letter. Now, if you're hearing my voice and you remember at the beginning we talked about 8 out of 10 veterans are underrated. You're stuck, you're frustrated, you feel alone. If you feel that way, this is what we do, guys. We help you. We help you get medical nexus letters and opinions to help you service connect your disabilities. Okay, now you see, I have a picture of a confused doctor there with his hands open that says, yeah, well, I don't write letters for veterans. Unfortunately, that's what we see a lot. All right, VA doctors are failing our veterans. Private doctors don't know what they're doing, most of them. And so if you need help, if you're not able to get medical nexus opinions from your doctors, this is what we do at VA Claims Insider. Okay, so if you need one, go to VAClaimsInsiderElite.com and complete our 3-step intake. Again, we've got a network of doctors. Most of them are also disabled veterans, by the way, so they get it. They know why you're asking for this, and they'll review your records, and they'll write credible medical nexus opinions for a wide range of conditions. Okay, again, you can go to VAClaimsInsiderElite.com. All right, it's a free 3-step intake. Okay, and we've got the full medical staff ready and available to assist you with the medical evidence you need to win Service Connect and get your conditions rated at the appropriate level. Remember, 8 out of 10 of you hearing my voice right now are underrated. All right, that means you do not have the VA disability rating and compensation you deserve. All right, as a fellow veteran, that makes me angry. Okay, that makes me angry because I see this every single day, all day. Veterans are stuck and frustrated alone. You're trying to navigate this yourself. You keep getting denied and you're ready to quit. All right, I've got a theory. The VA is waiting for you to either quit or die. All right, don't quit. Please do not quit and don't die either. Okay, we can help you win Service Connect and get your disability conditions rated. Again, it's a free 3-step intake. All right, by veterans, for veterans at VA Claims Insider Elite.com. Okay, again, you need some help. You need medical nexus letters. You need disability benefit questionnaires. You want to get your condition service connected finally after all these years. Start free. VA Claims Insider Elite.com. Okay, and as always, vets, thank you for your service. God bless you and your family. Again, Brian Reese here, the VA Claims Insider, founder and CEO. We've got a team of more than 30 professionals and VA claim experts all working together to help you guys. I'm also the CEO of Military Disability Made Easy, the world's #1 free resource for all things disability. And man, I'm blessed and proud to serve with you and walk along in this journey with you. Okay, feel free to shoot me a note through our website at VAClaimsInsider.com. Feel free to comment on this post. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you very soon. Okay, bye.